This situation got a whole lot worse for Rashee Rice and the Kansas City Chiefs because now we have a report, a new incident report that suggests that Rashee Rice called back the alleged victim to the scene via text message to just punch him in the face. According to the incident report, this thing got a whole lot worse. Personal conduct policy, this incident alone, this incident mixed with the 6-car pileup hit and run incident. I would be at this point, and I know things could flip back in the other direction at any moment, knowing the NFL. We've talked about that on the channel, but given all of the evidence and the things going down right now, all the this new situation, this new punching a reporter in the face, makes me feel like this guy's not going to play football in 2024. Jalen Hurts, we've got a new video, probably my best work I've ever done. This new Smitty Bunch video where I've got the entire Falcons family getting to know and come together as a family with the Cardinal family to become the Smitty Bunch. My best work I've ever done. It all begins right now. File on in.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
This Rashee Rice situation keeps getting worse and worse and worse. And, it's so funny because not very many people defend him on the live show. But you always get 2, 3 commenters, very tough guys that come in and go, oh, you're just blowing it all out of proportion. Because I have 17 shares of Rashee Rice in my Dynasty leagues. The guy's probably never played football in 2024 if he ever plays again. This is getting so bad. This guy doesn't know what he's doing. He's making horrible decision after horrible decision. He's hanging out with the wrong people. He doesn't know what in the hell that he's doing and how to calm down and focus and try and get rid of one problem. He reportedly, according to this new incident report, which I'm not saying that there aren't lies on this or we don't know anything, other than what's being told to us. But what's being told to us at every turn is awful. And so this right here, this reporter from Fox 4 posted this incident report and the picture. And the victim found the person who asked him to come back. That person asked him to look at his phone. And then when he did, he was punched in the side of the face. So according to this other piece right below it, it says new incident report for the alleged assault at Lit Kitchen. So apparently wasn't a club, which people, or maybe it was, maybe Lit Kitchen's a club, bar, whatever. I have no idea. People were reporting it to be a club, then it was a bar, then it was a restaurant, and then people would come in and go, oh, you got this all wrong. It wasn't a club, it was a restaurant. Who cares? Lit Kitchen says the suspect messaged the victim, so the suspect being Rashee Rice, messaged the victim to come back to the business, and reportedly he thought he was going to take photos. He was coming back to take photos or something. They lured him back, and then when he came back to the business, he punched the victim in the face. So he lured him back with a text message so that he could punch him in the face. Does this sound like a guy that the NFL is going to allow play football in 2024? Does this sound like a guy that won't be on the commissioner exempt list before the end of this show? Does the NFL sound like the kind of organization that we can trust to do the right thing? No. So at the end of the day, we don't know what's going to happen, but I can tell you that this has the makings of a Rashee Rice to never play football for the Chiefs in 2024, maybe ever again. Who knows? Maybe they release him. Wouldn't be shocked if the Chiefs made a stand to try and kind of improve their public image because they got so much craziness going on inside that Chief family. They're probably looking for a W. They're probably looking to get rid of this distraction because guess what? As I mentioned on the show before, you keep him on your roster and you play the wait and see game, guess what happens? The media shines the light on you and says, what are you doing about this? What do you think about this? What are you thinking you're going to do here? How is this going to affect the wide receiver room? What are you going to do here? Is he going to play? Is he not going to play? Are you going to suspend him over and over and over and over? And if he's not going to be very productive anyway, because he'll be in his own head, not to mention maybe suspended for the year, why not cut him? Why not cut him? Because then what happens? Chiefs don't get asked any more questions. Maybe one time, why did you release Rashee Rice? What did you think of this? And then boom, it's over. They don't ever answer. The next week, no one comes back and goes, hey, remember when you canned Rashee Rice last week? Can we talk about that again? No one's going to care. It gets rid of the problem right away. So we'll see what happens. John says no more Rice content. Put John in timeout, moderator. John, be quiet. When this is brand new news, bro. Okay, stop complaining. Stop complaining. Rice is a clown, says Untold Truth. Everyone, happy Thursday. Rashee Rice tried to steal my wallet last week, says Surf. I don't believe that. I think that's probably fake news. Malachi Corley can bench 27 reps, 225. You know what? I need to test my 225 bench. I got a bench in the living room. I got a whole fold-out workout facility, and the what's it called? We'll do a little like Smitty 225 bench press test, and then we'll go ahead and we'll go ahead and see if I can put up even 5 reps of it. I don't know if I can. I think I could put up 10. I think I could put up 10 to the 225. I don't know, though. It's been a while. I think I'm probably overestimating my ability, but I could get there, and I'm going to get there. And on that note, I've got something I got to tell you guys about. We have a new sponsor here on the channel, and it's called the Gibboard. And we'll be going over this in a minute. The Gibboard, you can get 10% off by going to the website gibboardus.com. But you may have seen this on social media. This is like a balancing board where it's a slack line. And I don't know if you guys know slack lines, where they're kind of intimidating. They're kind of intimidating and dangerous. Slack lines are so fun, and they're so good for your balance. And so this Gibboard, they sent me this, and I'm so excited to be working with these guys. You basically work on your balance, your strength. You, even if you're not like looking to work on something like that, you can work out on it. It's like a full-fledged thing. And it's like a standing desk dream come true. So your boy decided, I'm going to review this bad boy. I'm going to stand on it, and I'm going to take phone calls and work on my balance. Whoa! Work on my back. There's all kinds of tricks you can do. But surfers use this stuff to practice their balance, and skateboarders as well. And there's all kinds of tricks, but it's like a whole workout. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. And then you can like flip it up, you know, and then and kick it up. But this thing's awesome. You can flip it on the backside. You can do push-ups. You can do mountain climbers. So I was thinking that for like $20 haulers for a while, I can basically, you know, on the ground do mountain climbers. You can do push-ups. But this thing is so badass to literally like do standing desk stuff in it. And you just balance. And you're like 2-3 inches from the ground. So when you fall like that, you're not going to hurt yourself. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I love it. Let's see here. Smitty, make more Rice content. Thank you, Rockout. Appreciate you. We'll be doing that constantly. I think whenever I take phone calls or go into the standing desk formation, I'll be standing. This thing is so cool. Like, I'm not kidding. I'm not just trying to like promote something that I don't love or believe in. I actually contacted them initially, and I wanted to be a part of this thing in terms of promoting it. So the Gibboard, I'm very, very, very pleased with what I see so far. I got it about 15, 16 minutes ago right before the live stream. That's why I'm a little late, because I was unboxing it. And this thing's so badass, man. To sit there and balance on this thing all day. I already feel like my calves feel like strained. Not in a bad way, but like it's going to be a good workout. It's also very good for like knees. I got bad knees. I think this is going to really help my knees a lot, and the balancing alone. Like if you're an older person, let's say you're in your 60s or 70s, this thing's fantastic to try and make sure you stay young. You're a younger guy, you're in your 40s or 50s, this thing can keep you in shape and help you stay young, so that when you get to that 60-year-old, age group, you're like you're very, very flexible, you have great balance. And then if you're even younger, like you're a 20-year-old, 30-year-old, doesn't matter. You can do full-fledged workouts, like P90X like workouts on this thing, push-ups. You can put your feet on the slack line and do push-ups, where you're raised. It's awesome. 10% off. 10% off will get you get 10% off a Gibboard if you go to gibboard.us and use code Smitty. I'm telling you, I am so excited about this. I'm using it all the time. Okay, guys, and my kids. Yes, my kids. The reason I initially even reached out to get it is little Smitty in front of the TV watching a show balancing. It's going to be her favorite thing in the whole wide world. I showed her the video of this thing, and they have a video where the kids are using it, because it's for kids, it's for elderly, it's for young people. You can literally use this thing for anything. And my kids were so excited about this thing. And my little Smitty's taking a nap right now, so I was able to bring it in here. But this is little Smitty's. And little Smitty is going to balance on this thing while she watches TV. She's going to have such a blast on this thing. I'm so pumped about it. I really am. It's one of my... Grindhouse, this, and Underdog are my genuinely three favorite sponsors. Like, I've never worked with anybody that I've loved more than Grindhouse and Underdog. This is going to be one of them. I can already tell. I love this thing. Code Smitty. Code Smitty. Guys, without further ado, let's get back to the Rashee Rice stuff. Rashee Rice is probably cooked. He's probably cooked, and if you're a innocent till proven guilty person, I get it, and I respect that, and we need that in this world in terms of the court of law. But in terms of the court of public opinion, as it relates to the NFL, and this guy who's walked off the freeway in a coward fashion with his buddies, leaving injured people in vehicles. Thank God they weren't severely life-threatening type injuries. And then he goes and punches a reporter in the face. Allegedly, according to the incident report, this guy's cooked. He's cooked. I don't know that he plays football in 2024, and I don't know that there's a place for him for the Kansas City Chiefs. And I'm refreshing, because I wouldn't be shocked if the Chiefs cut him. I really wouldn't at this point. This is just a bad look. It's a distraction. You're trying to get this team that was off kilter all year, who came together collectively, got all the drama kind of, worked out, and then they won the Super Bowl. And now they got to go back into the beginning of the year with a bunch of drama, the court dates and things. That they've got a way out now. They've got a way out. They could say, you punched a reporter in the face. That's against the personal conduct policy, and we're going to cut you. The NFL can say that's against the personal conduct policy. We're going to place you on paid leave while you go and work it out through the court system, whatever. But this guy is probably done. Okay. So we'll wait and see what random people we don't recognize that file on in here that defend him, because they're always just some new person with a name we don't know. It's like, leave him alone. Leave him alone. He's learned his lesson. He's learned it. I own him in 17 leagues. He's learned his lesson, Smitty. Brock Bowers signing his contract. I think Brock Bowers is grossly undervalued. And I don't know what it is about this landing spot that makes people feel like his dynasty value is taking a huge hit. I think because people are impatient Ians. They're just impatient. They don't want to wait for the quarterback to arrive next year. Shedeur Sanders, whoever the hell it ends up being. I think Las Vegas has one of the top two quarterback additions, whether it's a trade or the draft in the offseason 2025. So real excited about Brock Bowers' future, and from a dynasty perspective, his de facto default, like 6-7 overall value is a steal. And you can't rank him higher. We tried doing it the other night, and we're like, he's beautifully packaged into low-risk value, no matter if you love him or not. 6-7, totally acceptable. Absolutely amazing value for Rashee Rice. For Brock Bowers. For Rashee Rice, it's unbelievable value that he's probably going to be on your waiver wire, and I won't pick him up. Smitty, do you do Dynasty trade advice? Of course, Spencer. What do I look like? A total a-hole? We got a Dynasty channel, and this main channel does it all. And we have open phone lines. So you bet your bottom dollar, Spencer. Appreciate you. Straight to the toilet, says Joe. Superfish says, I could fit a PlayStation in my back pocket. Or I'm not, that's not Superfish. That's Blackbeard. What are you talking about, Blackbeard? Okay. Without further ado, I give you the best work I've ever created in my entire life. You know when I said, hey, my Devon A. Chan video is the best work I ever did? Then the Marvin Harrison Jr. video I said might be the best work I ever did. I have created the ultimate masterpiece. I have married two families together. I've taken the Falcons family and I've married them to the Cardinal family. 3 children, 2 quarterback parents. Merge it together. Here you go.
It's a story of a little Kyler raising 3 little monsters of his own. None had hair of gold but the tight end, the youngest one a goat. The story of a man named Penix raising 3 little Penixes of his own. They were all so messed up from their former father. They were all alone. The Penix met the Kyler, and they decided it was much more than a hunch. So they decided to collide and create a family. The Smitty Bunch, the Smitty Bunch, the Smitty Bunch. I give you monsters and Penixes and Bijans, the Smitty Bunch.
I give you my greatest work of all time. And I will tell you something. When I made this, I just had a smile on my face the entire time. Because, thank you. Some call it the songbird of my generation. Thank you very much. This is absolutely the identical situation here with these two teams. You got Kyler, you got London. You got Bijan, you got Trey Benson. Yeah, there's some discrepancies between the values of each. You got Kyle Pitts, you got Trey McBride. You got Penix Jr., you got Kyler Murray. You got Alice in the middle, who's Kirk Cousins, kind of holding it all together. You know, like without Alice, what are you gonna do? The whole thing falls apart. You need Alice. No one's trying to say that Kirk Cousins ain't getting it done. He ain't gonna be amazing, but you need Alice. Prime says, have you watched the Brady Bunch, Prime? God, you disagree with everything, Prime. You don't agree with anything the show has. You don't understand anything the show does. That's Alice in the middle, bro. It's always Alice in the middle. What are you talking about? Okay, dial into the show. We don't have a lot of news today, so really all it is today was we were going to come in and talk about Rashee Rice. We're going to come talk about Brock Bowers. We're going to talk about Jalen Hurts going to the moon. And I appreciate you all following and hit the phone line.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Dial into the attic.shop phone lines, and we will definitely tackle Dynasty, redraft, whatever you want. Whatever you want. Penix only play if Captain Kirk goes down. Thanks, Tom. Appreciate that. Good story. Alice keeps it all together. She does. Or he does. Oh, God. Ron's going to be upset here. Ron! Hi, Ron.
What's up, Smitty?
What's up?
Yeah.
How's it going?
Push those buttons, don't you?
You what? Hey, Alice is the most important part of the Brady Bunch. Let's not get it twisted. No, without Alice, nothing. Without Alice, nothing happens.
But he's not going to be that good. That's so disrespectful to Cousins. Oh my God, you're so disrespectful.
Does anybody not agree? Without Alice, the whole thing falls apart.
When you were making that, were you thinking about me?
No, Ron, I don't think about you all day. I know you think that, but
You should. You should though.
no, I don't. You don't. Believe it or not, you don't guide any content. But I did when I was playing it when we came in here. I did think, I wonder if Ron's going to see the Kirk Cousins in the middle, get really upset. Even though you know my stance, it's Penix's team for the future. No doubt about it. But
realistically, they're not even, Penix isn't even going to get any, he's not going to get any decent practice time with regular players because they don't want to, they're just basically going to make sure that he can function, see how he can handle the playbook.
Maybe, we don't know.
Because they don't want some young kid coming in that's trying to prove himself, that's trying to make the team, and him getting injured. They don't want that happening. So
maybe
they're going to be real cautious with Penix.
Maybe not. Again, it depends on, and I'm not saying it happens. My prediction's been like week 8, 9, 10 that Penix is in there. It's not that like week 4 he takes over for a struggling Kirk Cousins, but Kirk Cousins, if he has any sort of setbacks, which are possible for A-Rod or Penix Jr., just to be clear, that they have a calf strain at all, anything, and then they're shut down, and then all of a sudden, so it's not out of the realm of possibility that there's some sort of drama before then. But I've made it abundantly clear about week 8, 9, 10, I do anticipate there being some drama around it. Even if Cousins stays in there all year, I'm happy. I'm a happy camper. There's nothing wrong with Alice being in the lineup for the remainder of the season, dropping monster bombs all over the place. Who are you to say Alice isn't the most important part of this entire board? Like I think Cousins should take great offense that you think being the center of this picture, as the focal point of this animation, that it's offensive.
Huh.
This is Kirk.
Other than the fact that they're all dudes and he's playing the Alice part, the woman.
There's three. No, there's
The
three.
old one.
There's three in the story of the Brady Bunch. There's 3 on each side.
Right.
He's Alice. I mean, he's Alice. He's the glue. He's the glue. He's the glue of the family.
Sure. Uh-huh.
All right. Anyway, what did you hear about the Rashee Rice thing? Kind of unbelievable that this guy continues to just. Well, I mean, this wasn't like he did it again, but I mean, the fact that he punched her allegedly, but it's in the incident report. Now, there was we talked about this yesterday. There was the Tyreek Hill struck a paparazzi person in the face, and that ended up being he knocked his hat off. We talked about this last night. You never know. This incident report could have lies in it. It could be one person. Just imagine, somebody taking an incident report. He said, she said. Like, it's still, just because it's on there doesn't mean it's going to be 100% factual. There's 2 sides to every story. But if it's true that he lured the guy back to strike him, I think the Chiefs probably cut him. But maybe not. I don't know.
Well, they are, because if they don't, then it's just going to be, affect the locker room. The reporters are going to keep asking them questions and questions and questions.
It's never going to stop.
They don't have that. They're done with it.
Never going to stop. Never going to stop.
The report happened to the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Talk.
If you get rid of him, you will have one day, maybe 2, of hardcore questions, and then no one's interested. Why would you ask a team that doesn't even have the player on the team anymore a question about him? You wouldn't. So it goes away. And if he's going to be a distraction anyway.
Look what happened to Buffalo's punter. They got rid of him, and then there was no more questions about him as soon as they found out. And actually, it was proven that he didn't do the things that he was accused of.
Yeah, that was
He's still not in the NFL.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate situation for everyone involved in that, especially him. But I think this thing gets worse before it even remotely comes close to getting. I mean, I don't think it ever gets better for him, but he needs to serve his suspension, get over it, and try and come back. And as we've talked before, we've had attorneys on here with the Kamara situation, and I think that a lot of what they said applies here too, is that you want to expedite this if you're the player, because you don't want 2 years of it, because you're going to be a mess anyway during the 1 year. Like, trying to push it to the next season, it looked smart for Kamara because he's an older player. He wanted to try and squeeze out some more good time, but then it ended up affecting him, and he played bad all year. Then they suspended him the first part of the season, and then he came out firing all of it behind him. Rice, if Rice was smart, he would have just shut up. He wouldn't have gone out and caused another problem. He would have shown more remorse. He would have publicly shown more remorse. He would have started doing what he could. But the problem is Texas law isn't going to care about that. We had Purdue call in and talk all kind of nonsense about how he thinks he'll just be the poster boy of racing, and they'll give him a slap on the wrist. And I'm like, do you understand what is really at play here? And I think Texas doesn't care about anything he's doing, anything he's trying to. He's not remorseful. He's not cooperating. I don't want to hear that anymore from anybody. The guy didn't cooperate at all because he had a warrant out for his arrest, and he did show up. So yeah, good for him. That's not cooperating.
Exactly.
Anyway. All right.
I still think overall what Kamara did was worse.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Did Rice put anybody in the hospital?
Yeah, but
I killed somebody, but
it's a fight. It's a fight, and it was a cowardly way to fight another individual, no doubt about it. But the fact that this guy could have killed. I don't care that nobody died in either situation, as far as like how much it pisses me off that they did it. Like, if someone died, of course we'd be even more angry. But I'm not like those people that say, oh, well, he got in this big 6-car pileup on the freeway going 100 and, what was he going, 120 miles, what was he going, 100 and what? Going 100 and something miles per hour. And because no one got killed, like, okay, then then maybe you slap him on the wrist. I don't agree with that at all. He's lucky. He'd be facing absolute prison time if he killed somebody, no doubt about it. But part of it is weird that him fleeing the scene of an accident where someone didn't pass away or get injured to the point where they're in a coma or something, and him fleeing the scene of an accident like this and nobody got seriously injured, why there's such a discrepancy in it being a problem and not a problem. It pisses me off. And while this guy Kamara may have fought and punched another man, I get it. That was someone's father, and he killed. Like, I get it. Like, I'm not saying either one of them is remotely good, and you belong in prison in both of those situations, by the way. But I just think that in this case right here, we don't know what was in his system because he ran away. So if he was drinking and driving and crashing, and that's a total just speculation. We have no evidence of that. We're just saying that when someone flees the scene of a 6-car pileup with Lamborghinis and Corvettes and $1 million vehicles, and you run off the freeway in 15 seconds and don't assist anybody, you don't even call the police, that gives somebody some good idea that there's potentially some substance in you and you're trying to get out of there. That's way worse to me. Driving with potentially something in your system like that, getting in an accident, mother and child were in a car, sent to the hospital. The guy's lucky. He's so everybody was lucky, but I think what he did was worse. That's just me. Seabass, you're on the phone live. What's up?
Hey, buddy.
What's up?
Just want to roll with what you're talking about there with Rice. I think my conclusion is, moving forward, the Chiefs are just going to wash their hands of them and be done with them.
I agree.
There's just too much there, and you know what? A lot of people think, oh, he won a Super Bowl in his first year. They have some draft capital invested in him and whatnot. But at the end of the day, it's a bad look. It doesn't seem like the guy can figure it out, and they're just going to move on. They'll get a trade, a free agent. So, whatever it was that he brings to the team, it's not irreplaceable.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't even solidify himself like multiple years or something. He did very well at the end of the year, but Hollywood Brown and Worthy are going to take his place. He is getting suspended
100%.
for a year or more. And if he gets suspended for if he gets suspended for a year and there's success with Hollywood Brown and with Worthy, or even just one of them, who on earth thinks he's walking back into the same situation he's walking back into?
No.
Number one, even if, let's say, he's still a dominant figure there are more mouths to feed. Like, let's say he was a good little boy all off season long. Rashee Rice we didn't hear a single negative thing about him, right? And they bring in Hollywood Brown and they draft Worthy. What do you think everybody says about Rashee Rice, who's a good little boy? Oh my God, his target share is going to get eaten up. He's going to drop. I don't really necessarily want to draft him. But for some reason, no one's talking about all that. They're talking about as if Rashee Rice comes back, it's all going back to normal. He goes back, even if he serves a year suspension and they say, you know what, we're going to give him a complete second chance. Let's just say that happens. He doesn't get cut. He's coming back to the most crowded situation he could come back to. There's no way he's even remotely close to as valuable as he used to. And not to mention, like, at every turn, every scenario you give me, I'd rather have somebody else at ADP than him. Every step of the way.
100%.
With the speculation.
I agree with what you're saying, but just look at it this way. There's always guys that, like opportunity and talent kind of coalesce and they put up some numbers, whether it's injuries or like matchups or whatever. His stock got elevated because no one could catch the ball in KC.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't do anything for half the year. And, yeah, he took off the last half of the season. But it was only because by that time they had no one left to throw to. So it's not like this guy is, like, an elite talent that's just was, like an A.J. Brown or, that's not him.
Yeah. I think that is definitely the case as well, and on top of that, there's no old role left for him. What we saw was not there. It was a situational advantage that he had, and they added 2 other wide receivers. And nor am I down on Mahomes whatsoever, but the general public will be, and that's why Mahomes is a Saturn man, because he's one of the best values in all of fantasy football. He's being slept on. Mahomes is a sleeper. And a casual or a non-regular of the show will be like, wait a minute, you can't call Mahomes a sleeper. You bet your bottom dollar I can, and I will. And I will continue to, because on this show, a sleeper's anybody being slept on. And when you're going at 5.1 to 5.5, you are arguably maybe the biggest steal in all of fantasy football 2024. So that kind of makes you a sleeper. I don't care if you're a well-known sleeper, a deep sleeper. You can be a sleeper on all different avenues and fronts. And in this case, he's not an unknown sleeper. He's a big-name sleeper that shouldn't be in the 5th round when he could be arguably the number 1 overall fantasy football scorer in 2024.
Let me pump your tires up a bit here. Let me pump your tires up a bit, okay? Mahomes had trouble. Not that he had trouble, but the Chiefs had trouble pushing the ball down the field last year, okay? What do? They get Marquise Brown and Xavier Worthy. What's that going to do?
Like I said, he's not coming back to the same situation. But Rashee Rice, Mahomes has 2 very good weapons.
Mahomes value. The only thing that he was kind of misfiring on was those downfield shots.
Yeah.
And they completely addressed it.
He has such an upgraded situation. Let's say Rashee Rice gets, cut today or tomorrow. Mahomes with Hollywood and Worthy and Kelsey and Pacheco is light years ahead of Mahomes last year with Kelsey and just Rashee Rice.
Agreed.
So this whole notion that you take Rice off the roster, now we have to drop Mahomes, right? He's losing a weapon. Like, what kind of brain?
Everybody
thinks like that?
Like, you pull that Rashee Rice piece out and the thing falls. Rashee Rice doesn't mean fuck all to the Chiefs.
Yeah. Mahomes is an ADP value, not a sleeper. Wrong, Sir Lax. Wrong, Sir Lax. Take a lap.
All right. Have a good night,
all
buddy.
Right, later, Seabass. Appreciate you. Get your terminology right, Sir Lax. You're on this channel. I'm not on your channel, Sir Lax. You're on my channel. And sleeper could be anybody. Big name sleeper, deep sleeper, whatever category you want to attach to it. Sirlax.
You've just been Smitty disapproved.
Got him.
Christian, you're live.
Hey, how you doing, Smitty?
What's up, bro?
Listen, you're being really hard on Rice over here. He's a
Oh,
good
come
kid.
on, bro. What are you talking about?
I'm just busting your chops, dude.
Okay. Good God.
Listen,
Are you sure?
I
Are
got
you
a
sure
question.
you didn't just back out of a stance you were really trying to take? Be honest.
Definitely not. No, but I figured that would get your goat.
Okay. Yeah.
So I got a quick
turn myself
question.
in the background. I hear myself yelling.
Oh, hold on. I don't even have you on.
Yeah, you do. Or maybe Ron does.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Okay. No, so I have a question. I guess it's a bit of a different topic. Rookie tight ends. I'm super desperate for a tight end in one of my dynasties this year. I'm definitely going to take a stab at Sinnott in the second round, but I'm also contemplating taking a stab at Sanders over there in Carolina if he's there in the third round. I'm curious what you think about Sanders, where he stands for you, where you rank him, and if you think that is ill-advised grabbing two tight ends this year. I just don't want to really have to worry about tight ends for the 2025-2026 draft. So I was curious what your thoughts on that was.
I don't really know. You're saying to draft two tight ends like on your roster, period?
Yeah. Well, this, picking up two tight ends in the rookie draft coming up. So
Okay.
I want to grab Sinnott in the second. I'm fairly positive I'm going to be grabbing him in the second.
Yeah,
I'm thinking about also doubling down on Sanders as well.
Yeah, I don't ever mind that, bro. I mean, first of all, do what you feel is right. Second of all, the trade market could open doors to trades. Like, don't ever let somebody's like, hey, you're supposed to only own two quarterbacks in a non-best ball draft. Like, those are stupid, I think, pieces of advice when people are like, you should do this, you have to do this. You can only own two tight ends. Like, own whatever you feel is going to help you build your team. And the trade, no one knows the trade market in your league. Nobody knows the trade market and the ability to move one of those guys in your league. And maybe you can, and maybe you don't care. Maybe you're like, hey, I'm just going to have a whole bunch of talent that I can deploy at any moment. And it's worth it because, like, if Sinnott becomes the next Laporta, and he's very positioned to be that dice roll of this tight end draft class because, remember it was Kincaid and Mayer above Laporta. Laporta's situation was gold. And he was super good, and it all just developed and he blossomed. Like Sinnott's very much the same, and Luke Musgrave was as well, but he got injured, and we'll see what happens with him this year because I think he's a steal. But if let's say Sinnott goes to develops and flourishes in Washington, doesn't get injured or anything, he could all of a sudden become the Laporta of this tight end group, and we're like, well, Bowers is still great. We still love Kincaid. Kincaid's still a top. He's going around 4 right now. He's climbing high, but doesn't mean that Laporta is going to relinquish that tight end one role. Sinnott could pass Bowers and never drop below him. So I love it. Sinnott's a monster. I love him. I draft him all day long.
How would you rank Sanders compared to him? Because I know a little while ago ADPs had Sanders before the NFL draft. Sanders had. The ADP Sanders was going before Sinnott. Now it's changed a bit, and it's going to continue to change as the days go on. But how do you see him as a player, potential for Dynasty tight end?
I love him. I have Sinnott as my clear 2. Bowers, Sinnott, and tier break. And really,
Gotcha,
Bowers.
But where would you put Sanders though compared to say Sinnott?
I mean the third guy, but I mean it's a tier break. So it's like third or fourth round. Sinnott I'd take in round 2, easy. I'd take him in the middle of round 2, top of round 2. I don't care, wherever I needed to. If I didn't have a draft pick until like late third round, I'm not going to chance it. If he's the best player I deem, worthy, I'll reach on him. I don't care. Love Sinnott.
That.
All right, bro. Call back if you got another Dynasty question or whatever later.
Yep.
Look, Mahomes total sleeper this year. Hurts, total sleeper this year. Are they unknown sleepers? No, they're big name sleepers, but Hurts is now going at 4.1. Hurts is now going at 4.1, which is unreal. Hurts is maybe even now, in my mind, better than Mahomes at 5.1. Hurts at 4.1 has become my favorite pick, and that's why both of them are Saturn men.
The Saturn Men.
One small step for man, one giant leap for Saturn.
Spaceman. Spaceman.
4.1, 5.1. There are no better steals really in fantasy other than Blake Corum in mid-round 2. But good God, and I've got another little special video for you. Here it goes.
Excuse me, Jalen. Reporter Randy here from the Take a Lap Times. Do you know you're currently a 3rd to 4th rounder in fantasy drafts?
3rd to 4th rounder? Got him.
We've been waiting for a Jalen Hurts drop for a while. Thank God we got one. We've got him going. We got him cooking. We got a Jalen Hurts drop. We've got, who else do we need here? We need we got a Marvin Harrison Jr. Drop in the Cardinal one. We've this one right here. If anybody hasn't seen it.
Hi. What would you like? Footballs, please. Lots of footballs, please. Coming up.
He's Marvin, he's 11 feet tall, and he loves to consume the football. He's Kyler, he's 4 feet tall, but starving Marvin will answer the call.
So we got a lot of Marvin. I wouldn't be surprised if we added another Marvin. We got Jonathan Brooks maybe. Trey Benson maybe needs his own drop. I don't know. The list goes on and on. I know Ron will want a Cousins drop, but Bob, you're live.
Hey, good day, buddy.
What's up?
Okay, Pacheco, with Worthy and Marquise spreading the field, could Pacheco get the rushing record this year?
Is it possible? I guess, sure. Would I consider it at all? No. The rushing record? Why?
Yeah, I just feel that he, you know how he hasn't really played to his potential because last year they loaded the box, didn't they? And so now with it being more spread out, and he's the only guy, he's the bell cow, as you know, right? They just push him, right? And I just reckon he's a long shot. He's a long shot, but I reckon he's going to really kick some butt. And so is Worthy and Marquise. Marquise could play the slot.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't mean you saying that it's probably the same as like saying, I'm not saying no. You know, if that's like your dark horse, like let's say you're going to drop that in Vegas or something, I'd be like, hey, that's the odds of that are a long shot, and that's good for you if it lands, right? So I'm never going to talk you out of that. But that'd be like the same as saying like, I don't know. I'm trying to find like a name that makes sense around that. Like Pacheco.
Around that area. Yeah, I know who you mean. Around that area.
Like Stevenson or something. Like I don't know.
Yeah. But the offense is going to be, it's a top 5, top 4 offense, right? And he's the bell cow.
He is the bell cow, but
like
he also gets hurt because he runs hard. He runs with broken shoulders, broken hands, and I give that to him. It's amazing. Like I love that quality about him.
Yeah.
But he is like to play 17 games is a tall order for that guy. Number 2, even though he does feel like he solidified the role, keep in mind Casey's very, very, very deceptive from the end of one year to the beginning of the next year on how they're going to run a running back, for example. And I know he cemented it. Yeah. It's not like the Damian Williams, the Clyde Edwards-Helaire situations. They've found their guy. But this because of Rashee Rice, they're not going to just run the ball now more than ever. Like, they're throwing the ball. They got Worthy. They got 2 wide receiver weapons. Kelsey's I think going to be a lot more focused this year. So he should be, because he's going to be, his relationships normalized. I think he's going to start focusing on himself again. I think he was very much not focused all year long. And I think he does have 1 year left. He could miss time, though, because he's older. But I don't know. I think I would never put any money on that, personally. I think you want to put money on a long shot that in my mind is like a near lock to be top 5 in rushing. It would be Kyren. Put money down on Kyren Williams because everyone's scared to death about Corum. That's a fantastic bet for the rushing leader.
It's funny what you say because I only play ESPN public, right? Public league down here. We can't do any betting or anything. So
okay.
I'm in the granny leagues, but it's funny. Everything you say is kind of coming to fruition, like, Hurts being the moon guy, as you say, he's getting more popular, and you just notice little things. Okay, just to finish, Starvin Marvin.
Love him.
The line down here, what do you reckon the line is for touchdowns, mate?
Like, if you want me to guess what the line is? What you have the number? You're just wanting me to guess it?
Yeah.
I would say.
No. You told me. Yeah, you said the other day. You said like you'll get a whole lot, right?
Yeah, I'd say.
But down here.
I'd say. I would say the line's 13, 12.
Man, you should come down here and retire. I'm too scared to say. It is
3?
So low.
4?
I'm scared. because I've actually got money on it already, but it's I just don't know what the.
What's the line? You're keeping us in suspense. What's the line?
Well, I'm scared because if anyone listens, the people in my bloody, it's just ridiculous, man.
Just say it, bro. Come on.
Okay, I'll tell you. I'll say it.
4.
5.5.
Yeah. That's great. He'll get that by midseason, like even if he has a bad year. Yeah, that's great. Okay. Now, I mean, we can't say that if Kyler were to go down or something, that could really change things for any player, really. Look at Neighbors. Neighbors is an electric player in his own right, and he's with Danny Dimes. Like if Ritter gets in there, we're screwed in Arizona. As are most teams. Not everybody has the luxury as Ron's Steelers to have their backup quarterback better than their starter. That was such a genius move. I wish the Cardinals had brought Fields in. I would have given a 3rd-round pick to have Kyler backed up with another running quarterback that is plug and play in a sense. Everybody crapped the bed on that. Everybody crapped the bed but the Pittsburgh Steelers. That was genius.
Oh, Justin Fields, man.
Genius.
When his first 2 years he was crap, and then in the second half of 1 year, remember when he just started running for like 150 yards and stuff? And as soon as he did that and getting to like 2 touchdowns, I just went from hating him to a total lover of Justin Fields.
Yeah, he just needs a chance, bro.
Oh, man.
I hope he's not. I've said this before to make it abundantly clear how I truly, honestly, genuinely, not biasly feel about him. He is broken. He is broken right now. I just don't know how badly. None of us know. None of us know. Is he repairable? I believe he is. And I believe that he will heal and he will develop and he will mature. He has been handcuffed. He's had one hand cuffed behind his back his entire career.
Yeah,
and he's like a wounded animal. Like you got to like nurture him. You got to bring him back to life, and he will flourish if he gets the right support and coaching support. I hope Mike Sullivan will do that for him and really groom him. But I believe he is risky if you were only banking on him because of what Chicago did to him. They stunted his growth. And we saw, like, Trey Lance is another example. Trey Lance was ruined by Kyle Shanahan. And I will go to my grave saying that Trey Lance could have done what Purdy's doing had he been given the chance at the right time. Why does Purdy get to go right in and Trey doesn't? Yeah. It's ridiculous. Trey proved it too in a playoff game when he won a game that had playoff implications, and they won the game. It was 2 years ago, and because of that win by Trey, they made the playoffs, and then Jimmy Garoppolo was shoved into the lineup, in the playoffs. It was just idiocy. But my point being that Trey Lance it was ruined, was broken. I don't know that Trey's fixable either. I think he's probably more far gone than Fields is in terms of being repairable because his growth was stunted for so long. And so I do wonder what Fields can look like if Fields does get unlocked and unleashed and molded and sculpted and nurtured. And I do believe that he will be repairable to, the best extreme. So I'm excited about that. As far as Marvin, back to that, I would say as long as Kyler's healthy all year, I don't think there's a world where Marvin doesn't have 10 plus touchdowns. This guy is a machine.
I'm betting on it. There's another guy, Zach Wilson. I actually really feel sorry for him too, man.
Yeah.
I think he could have. It's the same. It's the same as Justin Fields. They destroyed Wilson, man, and psychologically.
Yeah, he's done because of that. Like he had a lot. He was a great prospect. Zach Wilson was as good a prospect as Caleb Williams. I don't care what anybody says. They're the same prospect in terms of talent, and everyone's gonna remember it different because they're gonna feel stupid to admit that. Like, no, it can't be. Caleb's so good. They were literally the same kind of prospect to me. Lots of upside. There's big question marks, but lots of upside, and they have different question marks in my mind. But for anybody to assume that Caleb or any quarterback, even JD5 could go the direction of totally surprising us in the wrong direction, I don't think JD5 will though, because there's so much going for him.
That's another guy you picked. You talked about JD5 like a few weeks ago, right? And nobody was, even me. I was thinking, how could he be better than Caleb Williams? And then this is you. You said this a few weeks ago. And on the drafts I've been doing, no one was taking him, and now he's just like you picked it.
He's the number one quarterback in this draft class, and there's just no argument for it. There's none. There's not. He's the best pocket passer in this entire draft class. He's better throwing 20-plus yard passes than Caleb. He's better in the pocket than Caleb. He's better than Caleb in every single category. Runs for 1,000 yards and 10 scores while also throwing 40 touchdown passes. Who scores 50 touchdowns? Who has time for that? Who has time to throw for nearly 4,000 yards while you're running for 1,100 yards? He is the best pocket. He has the best completion percentage in college football in the last decade with 20-plus yard throws. He's the best downfield thrower in the last 10 years. And people say stupid things like he's a gadget quarterback. He's not good in the pocket. He won't stay in the pocket. Okay. If he won't stay in the pocket, riddle me this, Bob the hater. And you're not the that's a bad example of you. Bad example of using Bob because Bob's on the phone. Sorry, Bob. Jim, Angry Angus, the hater out there. Riddle me this: if he's not the best pocket passer, if Jaden Daniels is not the best pocket passer in all of FBS and this draft class, why was he first in college football last year in pocket touchdowns? 35. 35 of his 40 passing touchdowns were all inside the pocket. People don't know what they're talking about.
Wow.
They're regurgitating what they hear. They heard it from this, content creator Caleb over here, and they think, oh, he's not a good pocket passer. 35 touchdowns inside the pocket, number 1 in FBS. 67% completion percentage on 20-plus yards, the best in the last 10 years in college football.
People are knocking his frame.
His last 3 games, 11 TDs, 0 INTs inside the pocket. The last 3 games, 11 touchdowns in the pocket. People are wild. People are wild.
People are saying that he's a bit skinny. His running game will get smacked around, All
right, hey Bob, got to let you go. Call back if you got another one. Appreciate you later.
Ozzy, oi, oi, oi.
What, Ron?
No, Kiwi, not Aussie.
What? What's going on? Who's screaming? Ramondre Stevenson will win leagues this year, says Spencer. Thank you for the $2 holler, and he will probably be a moon man. I love Stevenson. We just haven't got to it yet, but Stevenson has been one of our favorite deep sleepers on this channel at the running back position in the deeper area. We got early round sleepers. We got big name sleepers like Mahomes and Jalen Hurts. Let the angry Anguses and the hating Henrys and the doubting Donnies and the confused Collins act like Jalen Hurts can't be a sleeper. That's not the terminology that I learned. That's not the terminology that was shoved down my throat. Well, guess what? This is my channel. These are my definitions. These are my ways of describing things. People can call in and say what they feel, but sleeper can be any. You can be a first round sleeper. You know how? All you do is you say, let me give a descriptor, a first round sleeper. I can say this, that Gibbs is a first round sleeper. Gibbs wins a league at the bottom of round 1 because people are sleeping on his top 1, 2, 3 overall value. Mahomes is a 5th round sleeper because everyone's sleeping on him. Jalen Hurts is a big name 4th round sleeper because everyone's sleeping at the wheel. Stevenson is a known commodity, but he's a damn good middle round sleeper. Hey, Smitty, we got Worthy, Hollywood, Kelsey, Pacheco. Who scores more TDs? Who has more receiving yards? Kelsey with the touchdowns. Pacheco could give him a run for his money, though. I would say Kelsey for yards and touchdowns, or yards and then maybe Pacheco gets the touchdowns, but by a hair. But I'd say Kelsey is the best chance to get both. I mean, at the end of the year, we all kind of wrote Kelsey off. Air says Rashee Rice is innocent. I forgot to put that up there. What a funny. People are so funny, man. They're absolutely wild. I remember we were down on Kelsey at the end of the year. We certainly were. But and I even said, he's done inside my top 4, I think, at one point. But then like the playoffs came, and it's like, oh my God, there he is. What's he been doing? And I don't think it's load management. It's not like basketball where we got to worry about load management all year or something. I don't think Kelsey's going to play that game. I think it's more about can he stay healthy. He's working really hard. The off-season footage of him working out is pretty impressive. I hope he doesn't get distracted with the podcasting and the Taylor Swift stuff that could still stand in the way. But I think, he's not the number 1 tight end anymore. Laporta's got that title. Could somebody, grab a hold of that 2 spot or even the 3 spot and him be tight end 4? Yeah, that's certainly possible. But at 4th round value, mid 4th round value, which is where Kelsey goes, that bakes in all of that risk. So I'm not really concerned at all about 4th round value on Kelsey because he could miss 4 games and still earn that. If he was going in round 1, 2, like the 12-13 turn, then yeah, we're really worried about him giving us the return on our investment. Cost of entry is high, risk is really high. But here in the mid-4th round, you're buying him at the value that tight ends in that territory traditionally get you, like not even 1,000 yards and maybe 8 touchdowns. So like he could do that, I think, pretty easily. So I'm fine with that. A lot of people have been requesting to replay the Brady Bunch bit. So let's hit that one more time. Here it is.
It's a story of a little Kyler raising 3 little monsters of his own. None had hair of gold, but the tight end, the youngest one, a goat. The story of a man named Penix raising 3 little Penixes of his own. They were all so messed up from their former father. They were all alone. The Penix met the Kyler, and they decided it was much more than a hunch. So they decided to collide and create a family. The Smitty Bunch, the Smitty Bunch, the Smitty Bunch. I give you monsters and Penixes and Bijans, the Smitty Bunch.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Finally, the best masterpiece we've created yet. More to come, though. More to come. Ronnie, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. What do you think of, what was I was going to ask you? Oh, Stevenson. I was going to ask you about Stevenson. Do you like Stevenson as much as a lot of us do here on the channel? I don't know if I've ever heard your take on that.
Stevenson from New England?
Yeah. He's a top 5 to 7 running back. He's proven, and he's just kind of fell off. He was misused, and you got May coming in. You've got 2 wide receivers in Polk and Baker, and you got Douglas. You got Pop Douglas. You got pretty decent wide receiver room now, which is good. And one of those guys should do well. And Stevenson should be, not the focal point of the defense constantly now. He's one of the best receiving backs in the National Football League. No doubt about it. No hesitation in my mind. I think that part alone makes me think, this can't fail. As long as he stays healthy, because he's such a good receiver, I think that is a saving grace for the development of Drake May, who may or may not even be on the field in week 1, but regardless, I think that he is like the saving grace for whoever's under center there, even if it's the brisket. I just think that if maybe he was spotty in the receiving game, it would be a bigger question for me. But he is going to blow everyone out of the water that is even going to sniff for carries and targets or whatever, and pass protection, all that. This guy is the receiving monster on this team. He's probably the best receiver on the team. I don't think any of the receivers are even remotely close to Stevenson's level yet. So he's the best pass catcher on the squad. So I'm really, really excited about Stevenson. He'll definitely be a moon man. We just haven't got to it yet. Maybe we do that tonight. But I'm just curious if you feel that about him. And his ADP is ridiculous. So even if I'm wrong to a degree, you're probably still getting your value back, even if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I agree. Now that Belichick's not there, I think Stevenson's stock rises.
76 overall, running back 20. Below Monty, Aaron Jones, Kamara, Joe Mixon, Rashad White. I think that's good territory for him. I know your boy Najee's below him, so you're going to draft Najee ahead of him. I get that. But that's pretty good value. I think Najee, there's still a problem for me. I know you feel differently. I still feel like not picking up his 5th-year option is a little bit of a concern, and I think that, it's easy to be like, oh, I'm not worried about that, and I can understand your take on that if you're feeling that way. And I could argue that, too, for a player I loved, I get it. But I think that had that 5th-year option been picked up, you would have in turn felt very strong about Najee because of it. So I believe an unbiased look at it would be like, okay, definitely not the greatest news. It definitely could be overcome. If he comes out on fire, he can take control of his own destiny, and then they just regret not picking up his fifth-year option. So I don't think it can't work out. I'm just saying it's not what you wanted to hear, and I imagine. But I think Warren is the better running back personally in many ways. I think Najee is better at certain things, but I think Jaylen Warren. I was so excited about Jaylen Warren, and I don't think you should be too mad at this take because I know you're a big Najee guy, but I'm still rooting for a player on the Steelers roster. So I think to a degree, like, you know, it's preference, but I was so pumped up about Jaylen Warren getting the nod about, was it mid-season last year, where it's like, okay, Jaylen Warren's going to take over. And then, what was it? Something happened. Wasn't it Matt Canada got replaced? And then all of a sudden, the new offensive coordinator, obviously, a lot of that was probably Mike Sullivan, too, that had something to do with that. All of a sudden, they go back to Najee, and you're like, wait a minute. But maybe bring Canada back just for a week. What happened? We want Canada gone. Get Canada gone. Jaylen Warren's taking over. And as soon as they released Canada, it reset the thinking. And all of a sudden, Najee, that next game, just got fed and did well. And it really kind of pissed me off because I was so excited to see Jaylen Warren get unlocked. I still love Jaylen Warren. I know you love Najee, but do you love Warren like near as much, or are you not on the Warren train at all? Are you just merely Najee?
Oh, I got a team with both of them on there. I think they complement each other. And if Najee gets back to form, you know, I mean, look, we knock on him and everything, but he's been in the league 3 years and he's been over 1,000 yards every single year. He's the only back to do that.
Yeah, I loved him as a rookie, so I'm not.
Say what you want, but he's getting the yardage. I mean, no other back in the league has put up 1,000 yards 3 straight years.
I mean, he is a very intriguing player, no doubt. I mean, especially if they run if they run the ball well this year.
You know who I like as a sleeper that I think could really, you might not agree with this, but I like Estime for Denver. He's big. I think with Peyton's offense, he likes using those big backs out on the goal line. I think he's gonna eat this year. He's gonna work his way in.
He could. My only concern would be that that there's just too many running backs there, and I don't get the sense he wants to use one of them. And but I could be wrong on that.
So I think he'll get a chance because they want to save Javonte, keep him healthy as long as possible. So I think he'll get the work. I think he'll get the work, especially on the goal line.
Yeah, I'm not as optimistic as you on that one, but I do like Estime. He's pretty good, but I just think that, you know, I think McLaughlin's already carved out enough of a role that it's really hard to even imagine that happening. Hold on one second. Let me get these super chats out of the way, and then I'm going to go get Travis's take. I'm sure he called in about Stevenson. AJ or Saquon from Overcome. Depends on what you need. Honestly, like if you'd already gone RB and I'm a best player available guy, all things being equal, and you already have RB, then I'm looking at AJ Brown. If you were so lucky to see him fall into round 2, he's a round 1 guy. If we're talking about value for 2024, AJ Brown's a first rounder, Saquon's a second. So if you did see the scenario, you're getting a steal in AJ Brown according to ADP. But in a world where you have an RB already or a wide receiver already like JJ or Jamar Chase, and let's say you are facing this situation, or maybe this is the turn picks that you're talking about, like 11 and 14 or whatever, then I'm going to go Saquon if I already got a wide receiver. And if I've got MHJ, I go Saquon. If I've got AJ, if I've got Gibbs, then I'm going to go AJ Brown, because they're neck and neck. And I love AJ Brown this year. He got paid. I do worry about the knees eventually, but I don't know that I'm like hitting the panic button on this season. I think that I do love Devontae Smith even more than most people because of the AJ Brown, knee concerns that I have. But doesn't make me stray away from AJ Brown standalone. $20 hauler from Axe. Appreciate you, my guy, dropping the 21.
Alert. Super chat alert.
$20 super chat. $20 super chat.
Axe, appreciate you, bro. Smitty, give me a good strategy from the 1 to 8 at the 9 spot. Dude, let me hit this after I get this because I'm going to go to the board here. Dude, I'm going back to John Gruden's tomorrow. Says Overcome. If I were to try to get him on the show, how should I go about it? Damn, that would be great, Overcome. Email me. Go to thefantasyfootballshow.com. All right, Overcome. I don't know if you have me on Instagram. Email me real quick on and let me know. I definitely would love to get him on. So if you can pull that off, bro, that would be sweet. Probably like on IG. You know, you do an IG call with me. You just hit the little camera, and then we go live on IG real quick. That would probably be the easiest way. That would require nothing on your end. You just hand him the phone. You know what I mean? Thank you. Let me know, Overcome. That'd be pretty sweet. Okay, Axe, this is a good question. There's really no way to answer this, like, because everything's about best player available. You know that, so I can't give you a rounds 1 through 8 strategy. All I can tell you is from the 9 pick, I very, very, very much love to see. So here's round 1, round 2, round 3, round 4, round 5, round 6, round 7 over here, round 8. Or no, I'm sorry, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. If I'm at that 9 pick, I'm trying to come up with balance, as you just heard. Just because by the time you get back to your other picks, you're not forcing yourself to do anything crazy, and you'll have the luxury, because of where McBride and Kelsey fall here, you have the luxury of not going, damn it, I can't take Kelsey or McBride because I don't have wide receivers because I went RB. However, if you do go RB, so let me give you two teams that I would love from this draft slot. So Gibbs and let's say Kyron, then like a DK and a Devontae Smith. And then if you get Mahomes here, so be it. That would be amazing. I don't know that you will, but that would be fantastic. If not, there's Stroud, there's AR5 down here, there's Burrow and AR5 together if you wanted. But Gibbs, Kyron, DK, Smith, if you were to go RB. If you don't go RB, and let's say you go, and I don't know if you're drafting with grandmas, bro, but if you are and you can get MHJ right here, I love that. If not, let's say you get St. Brown and Kyron, then you're really balanced. And then when you get here, you're not obligated to go wide receiver or running back if best player available allows us. Then here you can go like Kelsey and Mahomes if you wanted to. You could go Hurts and you could go Jacobs and Hurts here if Hurts were to fall. You could go Jacobs and Mahomes. You could go anything you want, you know, having this balance. So balance would be the best way so that you're able to feel very flexible with these two picks. If you end up going RB or wide receiver, you're going to be forcing yourself to probably pass on Mahomes or the other position you didn't draft over here, or the position you drafted over here, or the tight end position, because you're going to be scared to not have the right balance. And you'd be right to be scared about it. That's why balance is always the best case scenario. Thank you, Overcome. Appreciate you for your 2 super chats. Thank you, Axe, for your super chat, your $20 hauler. You're the man, the myth, the legend. Axe to the moon. Travis Rowe, you're live. What can I do for you? And I'm sure you want to talk a little bit about Stevenson.
Yeah, I mean, I like Stevenson a lot. I was going to ask you to rank these 4 running backs, like, just as players. I know their ADPs vary. So just to, I guess if you were starting a team, if you had to, you know, just as that, how you think they are as players. Rashad White, Ramondre, what are the other ones?
Rashad White, Ramondre.
Najee.
Rashad White, Ramondre.
Yep, Najee Harris. And, oh crap, who was the other one? Oh, and Pacheco.
Pacheco?
Because they all, you know, they can all catch the ball out of the backfield. They all, you know, they're not, you know, the most elite top 2 or 3 running backs, but they all kind of fall within that top 10. So
Yeah, those are all close. I'd say Pacheco's probably got the highest ADP, right? Pacheco, Najee, Stevenson, and who was the other one? Rashad White. I'd probably say give me Pacheco by a hair. I'd probably say give me... The problem is the ADP. Like, Stevenson's going... Oh, no, he's going right near Najee.
I just said throw ADP out the window. Just
Okay. Pacheco... I guess Pacheco, Rashad White, and then it's a tie between Stevenson and Najee. And I believe those ADPs are probably pretty close too, like the way that I ranked them. So I don't think I'm off based on the average Joe. Some might like Rashad White more than Pacheco, but I think that's a toss-up. But it's a tough one because, I mean, all of them have the capability of being top 10 running backs. And all of even the top 15.
With Rashad and Najee, the only hesitation I have, I like them both, but both of them yards per carry, they've not been efficient in their career.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see how they do with that this year. Because they both should have better.
Well, you got to remember there, buddy, that you guys. Stevenson will probably do a lot better at this without Belichick gone. And with Najee, our offensive line in Pittsburgh's gotten a whole bunch better in this offseason. So they've got two positives.
That's that's why I'm interested to see because they should. And even Rashad White, that offense should continue getting a little bit better.
Hey, real quickly, I'm sorry. One second. We got a $50 hauler from Axe.
Give me $50 holler. Right there by the brother Smitty. Give me $50. Oh, yeah.
So if anybody doesn't know, thank you, Axe, and you can do a bold prediction for the board, bro, because that will $50 haulers get a bold prediction. So let me hit this sponsor real quick and this is a really exciting sponsor for me because I absolutely wanted this. And so I love promoting this thing. They sent me this board. I got another one coming. This one's for the kids. This one came early, so I'm sporting this one today. But tomorrow I should have my board. It's much more manly and aggressive. It's got I think it's got a bear or something on it, or a dog or something. But it looks awesome. And this is called a Gibboard. And Gibboard is like a balance board. It's a slack line. So I don't know if you guys have seen those like high slack lines where you crank the line and you balance on it. People jump on it. It's really hard, and it's what like a lot of surfers train on. And so this Gibboard was created for not only like older people that need to work on their balance or anything, because the more balanced you are, the more like potential you have to stay healthy and not fall and all that. So it helps like elderly people, but it also helps every like age group of person. If you're a 20 or 30-year-old and you want to surf, you want to skateboard, you want to work on your balance, you could get on this thing and start working on that, and then you get on a surfboard for the first time, you probably smash. The workouts you can do with this thing, push-ups on the kind of shaky, unstable by design slack line while you're doing push-ups. You can put your feet on here and do elevated push-ups. You can do mountain climbers with it. You can just balance and walk around on it. The kids absolutely love it. Like, put this in front of the TV and let the kids just balance and watch TV. And then there's all these tricks you can do. You can once you, I don't know that I'll ever be able to do it, but you can literally like flip it around like a skateboard and do like ollies with it. But it's unbelievable. And so the reason I got it is, one, I got bad knees. And so the ability, and physical therapists will tell you to use this, because the slack line, it puts so much onus on your knees to move in ways that you probably don't when you're sitting in a chair all day. And the strength in my knees, it's unbelievable. Like right now, I'm already getting a little bit better at balancing, like even on one leg or two legs, but I can feel it in my knee joints, and they're kind of tired already. And I want that to change. I want my knees to not feel tired when I do weird things like this. So I love this thing. I'm going to start using it as like my standing desk like solution. So whenever I'm doing the standing phone call segment, I'll probably get on here and then maybe $50 haulers or more, or $20, we'll have to see. Maybe I rip off a couple mountain climbers. I don't know. But 10% off if you use code Smitty at gibboard.us. But I love this thing. I recommend it seriously for anybody that wants to either get stronger with their legs, their knees, or just balance, or if you're just needing something new to work out with. It's like Miss Smitty's really excited to use it to work out. There's all these videos that they have on the website where you can do like mountain climbers. You can do like where you're bouncing on one arm and you point to the sky and do ab workouts and obliques. The mountain climber stuff, like I said, is really, really tough and hard. You can do all kinds of lunge workouts with it. So basically stand on the slack line and then cross your leg over and like lunge down and come up and like do squats with it. It's pretty crazy. And the thing that's so awesome is it looks badass. Like, I love having this thing in the studio. It looks like a piece of like workout machinery. It's awesome. So anyway, Gibboard, gibboard.us. No, not .us. Gibboardus.com. Sorry. Gibboardus.com. It's on screen. 10% off. All right, what's up, Travis? You were saying something.
No, I don't know. I think we're just talking about the running backs. Just that I think it'd be interesting to see within the new offenses in Pittsburgh and in New England how Ramondre and Najee do. Because I also wonder, and maybe Ron has a better idea on it because he knows more about the team and what they plan to do. But in terms of pass catches, like, is Najee going to get as many? Because like last year they went way down. They also had a bad offense, but with Warren there, does he eat up more of those pass catches? Because Najee's a very good pass catcher, and it kind of sucked that he only had like 29 receptions last year.
Yeah, it did suck.
Yeah, and I'm not sure, like with either, Fields or Wilson, how much I don't remember them really targeting their back too much in the passing game. I could be wrong. I can't. I'm trying to think, and I don't remember them heavily targeting the back.
Like
you guys?
Marshawn Lynch was decent, right? He's a pass catcher with Russell Wilson. I don't think he had a ton of catches, but.
So, yeah, that's kind of a hard question there, whether he's going to be. And then you got Arthur Smith there in his thing, and I don't know if Arthur really.
Motion detected at the front door.
He didn't beat on that well in the past last year. He didn't use. I don't know. Kind of up in the air. We just got to wait and see type of thing.
Man, my knees are already sore. Like, not in a bad way. Just like that slacklining is crazy. I don't think I've ever slacklined in my life. I don't know if you guys have ever slacklined, where normally they're very. They're what?
I'll make a bold prediction.
Okay.
I think you're going to be on the IR by week 6.
I'm going to be on the what?
IR.
IR? No, not after this. Not after this. This is going to get my knees right.
We'll see.
Yeah, this thing's pretty cool. I mean, it really is. If anybody has like and again, this is not like an elderly product. If anybody has like a parent though that they need to get, balanced and stuff, and that you're worried about them getting past the point of no return for falling and all that, like, this is pretty cool. It even comes with, like, if you're gonna go the elderly route with this thing, you can buy like a stick that you hold to, but it's not limited. And I hate even talking about this being for that, because then people are like, oh, it's not a product for kids, or this is like the best use is for your children, because you put this in front of the TV. They're literally, by the time you step on it and it sinks the slack line down about halfway, and you can tighten it at any moment. And this slack line is said to hold 400 pounds, and it'll last the life of the board. If it ever, for whatever reason, breaks, let's say your dog gnaws on it and it rips, and it shouldn't, but it's really strong, and the board flexes with it and everything. But if it was to rip, you could buy another slack line for, I think it's $29 to buy the line. But your kids are like literally like 2 or 3 inches off the ground, so they're not going to hurt themselves. Obviously, show them how to use it. Don't put it in front of objects, all that stuff. But man, I'm excited about this thing. And little Smitty has been napping. It came. She's been waiting for it for 3 days. She's so excited about it. And she's been just begging for it. And she's been asleep. She has no idea it's here. But I brought it in here because mine hasn't come in the mail yet. It comes tomorrow. They're shipping mine to me. This is for little Smitty. They were awesome. They sent little Smitty one. So, Gibboard, go check them out. I dropped the link in the live chat. Let me drop the link one more time. But 10% off if you use code Smitty. And anybody just wants to get fit, you can use this thing. It's not something that, I'm so excited to use it for push-ups and stuff. Oh, we got another $50.
How much do they?
The cheapest one they have is $140. But I mean, it's a huge board. It's like amazing quality. The wood, the designs on them. The only difference between the boards are the design. So you can get like the one for kids. It's like an astronaut looking one. That's $149. This one I believe is like $170. But you get 10% off with code Smitty, and it's so worth it quality wise. I couldn't believe how big this was. It feels like a surfboard, and put this on your wall. The decoration, it's sweet to lean up against the wall. It looks badass. I could put it right there, and it looks like I got this skateboard looking thing here. Gibboard, hit the link. Anybody wants one? Let me know if you get one too, because I'll be very interested if you try it out and to see how you like it. Another $50 hauler here from Axe. Good God, son. Dropping another one. Brooks wins Rookie of the Year. Second, Russell Wilson starts all year. Okay, there you go, Ron.
Predictions.
There you go. Bold predictions.
Bold predictions, right?
Let me put those up. Okay, so Axe, what's today's date? 5/8?
Yep.
9.
No, it's
9.
9.
Okay.
Yeah.
Axe, Russell Wilson starts all year. Five 9. Axe, Jay Brooks, RB wins Rookie of Year. There you go. Thank you, Axe. Appreciate you dropping the additional
$50. Give me $50 holler. I get by the brother Smith.
And if anybody doesn't know, I'll be in Vegas on the 29th and 28th of June. Not May, next month. I'll be in Vegas at Circa Hotel and Casino, specifically in Stadium Swim, the pool area with the big screens. I'll be there June, Friday 28th, and June, Saturday the 29th. I'll be there both days. And specifically the 29th, the reason I'm going is the Scott Fish Bowl. You may have heard. They asked me to live stream it last year. I did. It was great. It was a fun event. Met so many amazing people. And then we're going back to run it back. So I'm live streaming the live event Scott Fish Bowl on my channel.
Motion detected at the front door.
Right here. And then after it's all over, that's a day event. It's like a 6-hour show, probably a 5 or 6 hour show. After that's over, I'm going to do all my normal shows. The graveyard shows, the 8 p.m. show on Friday, the graveyard show on Friday from Vegas. But Saturday night, I'll be hanging out with whoever wants to hang out with me in the general admission area of the Stadium Swim pool area with the big screens, watching the Conor McGregor fight, which will be on the screens if you have, admission to get in. So it'll be freaking fantastic. So can't wait to hang out. I know Reebok Joe is going to be there. I know Chris from Vegas will be there. Denny says he's going. Veda flew in from DC last year. What's I'm forgetting a couple. Not the Isaac, but another Isaac came out. King Wasabi came out. We had like 8 people last year. It was unreal. And so all those people are kind of confirming again. I've had 2 or 3 people DM me on Instagram. I forget who it was that said they were coming. And then I don't know if Ron's going to try and make it or not. Denny says he's coming, but he said he was coming last time and I didn't believe him and he showed up. So I was pretty proud of Denny. But the only problem is Denny came and hung out with me for like 5 to 10 minutes, said he'd be right back and never came back that day. The next day, he showed up in the morning when I started my live stream. Both times I was live. Like, I couldn't even hang out with Denny. I was live, and I hugged him on air, and I was like, Denny! And I angled one of my cameras at him near the pool, and I'd say, Denny, dance for the audience. And I hit the button and switched the camera, and Denny would dance. But then he left, and both times when I was live, Denny left. He was there hanging out with me for like 4 or 5 minutes, and he never returned in both situations. He just wandered off and never came back both days. So I never said bye to him. I hung out with him for a total of like 11 minutes. And then he got mad at me. He's like, you blew me off, Smitty. I'm like, where'd you go? Where'd you go? I don't know where you went. Anything else you got, boys? I'll be back tonight for sure.
No, puppy's been keeping me busy.
That's good. Yeah, Ron got a new puppy. Congratulations. A Pomeranian, right?
Oh, nice.
That's awesome. Puppies are fun. We still got little Indy. I haven't brought him in the studio. He's pretty loud. He barks a lot, so trying to train him. All right, Ron and Travis, appreciate you guys calling tonight.
Yep.
I'm sure we'll go live.
Later, Ron. See you, Ron.
Later.
I'm sure we'll go live on something. Hey, before Travis left, Ron, do you agree with me? I know I've got a little bit of heat in some of the comments, at least like 4 or 5 people, but they're usually Ravens fans, so I don't even care. Number one, it's my opinion. It doesn't bother me when people disagree. I'll debate people, but it doesn't bother me. Do you agree that Lamar Jackson, who played at 232 years ago, last year played at 215, and then this year is playing at 205. Do you think that's going to end well for a guy that, I mean, his first year staying healthy was last year, really, when he did drop from 230 to 215. So, like, there's an argument to be made that the weight drop didn't hurt him, but going to 205, you know, when people complain about how a 208 to 210 pound, 6'4" Jaden Daniels won't make it in the NFL. He'll get knocked around like a rag doll. Lamar's going down to 205 and he's 6'1". I don't think it's a wise move. Hello?
Yeah.
Oh.
The biggest thing I worry about Lamar is all his fumbling. But, I mean, he's got all that, I don't know. I think you're right. I don't think it's wise.
I mean, is it for sure going to end badly? I can't say that. I don't know that. But I do know that this guy struggled to stay healthy his entire career other than last year. And, again, there's a good argument to make that maybe that's why he did stay healthy. He was carrying less weight or whatever. But it could also be that, you know, he was fortunate last year. But having 10 less pounds and being 205, and he looks like he's going to get knocked around like a rag doll. Like, he looks very skinny. He doesn't look, I remember when he was about 230, 225, Lamar looked like a big dude. Like, he looked like a strong guy, you know, capable of taking a hit. And some of his injuries were lower body anyway, right? So it's like, it's not like him getting hit. I'm worried about him now having some risk to the upper body or concussions and things like that he never was necessarily at risk of before, on top of just getting your knee mangled on a running play anyway, just being a scrambling quarterback. Like, I think everybody assuming, and you'll get the people that are Ravens fans come in and go, well, you can't catch him, then, you know, come on. Like, he's going to get wrapped up tons. You know, he runs a lot. So I don't think 205 is smart. I think 230 Yeah, I think Travis is right. 230 maybe was too much because he scrambles so much. He's carrying around a lot of weight. The more weight you have, the more you crash to the ground, the more it can hurt, the rest of your body. But, like 215, 220, I think that's pretty good. 218. Probably 215, 218. I would say not even under 215 at all. Like 215 to 218 would be good for his running style and all that. But you put him at 205. Not to mention, sometimes if you are playing at a weight like that and you are as active as he is, he could drop some lbs, just playing games. Like what if all of a sudden it gets out of control and he's, instead of 205, he's like 201. I don't know. I don't. Right. Not to mention, when you're an older player, adjusting your weight is not always good for your body because you're used to carrying this weight for a long time. Whereas, like I said, with running backs, I don't mind Achane gaining weight at 22 years old or whatever. Ziggy, how old is Devon Achane? He's 20.
From TVShowstars.com.
No, Ziggy. How old is Devon Achane?
This might answer your question. Devon was founded in historic...
No, Ziggy! God, he's worthless. I just want to know when his birthday is. Achane was born in, he's 22, like I said, he's born in October. So he'll be 22 through half of the year and turn 23. Not a big deal. This kid's still, like, CeeDee Lamb grew. Remember, not this offseason, but the previous offseason, CeeDee Lamb grew a half inch. He wasn't even in his own skin yet. Like, you can do that at 22. It's not a big deal. But, like, Lamar, I mean, he's kind of used to playing at these heavier weights. And, I mean, it worked out last year. I don't think it's smart. Lamar Jackson. He's 20. He's turning 20. He turned 27. I don't know. Not smart. I don't think it's smart. All right, Ron.
All righty, bro.
We'll see you later. We'll see you later. All right, let me promote this thing one more time the right way. This company, Gibboard. This is a Gibboard. Okay? Gibboard, you can find it at gibboardus.com. 10% off if you use code Smitty. It's a slack line, a portable slack line on like a surfboard, skateboard looking thing. And this is such high quality. And you can turn this thing over like this and do exercises on top of this. You can do sit-ups. I think they call this like the rowing the boat or the boat position. But you put the board down like this and it wobbles a little bit, right? Because it's not going to, by design, be super stable. And so you're able to do these like ab crunches on it while it wobbles. And that wobble gives you like that balance while you're doing sit-ups. It's all about balance. It's like working out with a lean and a focus on balancing. Then you can set the board down like you're going on a ramp, like down a half pipe. You set it down like that. And you basically can do all these like kind of balance tricks with it. So, come down on the board like that. You're on the slack line. You're balancing. You can then, I can't do it yet, but you're balancing on it and you jump and flip around and land on the slack line. And you just, it's like a big workout. Like I'm already breathing hard. Just the balancing alone. I feel like I'm going to fix my knees. My knees have been a problem for years. And I've always kind of wanted the slack line, but a lot of people will say things like slack lines are intimidating because they're high up, you can fall, you can get hurt. By the time you stand on this slack line, this puts you at like maybe 2 or 3 inches above the ground. So you have no fear. And this curvature of the board allows you to do all kinds of tricks. But anybody wants to get one of these bad boys, just get on over to gibboard.us. I'll put the link in the live chat right now. It's also on screen. Get 10% off by using code Smitty. I'm breathing hard because just standing on the thing, doing a trick or two is already getting me in better shape. But I'm going to do push-ups with these things, mountain climbers with them, squats, lunges, all kinds of crazy stuff. But I love it. I love it. Do it live. Okay. Anybody have a final question or hit me with it? And then I'll be back tonight. Weight loss, be damned. Would you consider Lamar over Mahomes hurts his plan A. No, I would take Mahomes over Lamar personally. As I said, Ryan, I'm not thrilled about the weight loss. I think playing at 215 or playing at 205. Playing at 215 is one thing. Playing at 205 for Lamar, running around taking hits, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. All right, I'll see you all in a little bit. Appreciate you. I'll be back tonight.
It's a story of a little Kyler raising 3 little monsters of his own. None had hair of gold, but the tight end, the youngest one, a goat. The story of a man named Penix raising 3 little Penixes of his own. They were all so messed up from their former father. They were all alone. The Penix met the Kyler, and they decided it was much more than a hunch. So they decided to collide and create a family. The Smitty Bunch, the Smitty Bunch, the Smitty Bunch. I give you monsters and Penixes and Bijans, the Smitty Bunch. He's Kyron, he's 7 feet tall, and he knows how to handle a ball. He's Kyron, he can take frowns and turn them upside down with his touchdowns.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special message from the Bruce's mother.
Get Bijan.
Got a couple celebratory messages. OEG celebrating his 15 months with us. Wow. Rice is cooked, says OEG. DeBalt says Trey Benson, 800 yards and 6 TDs, safe estimate. Space Ricky says Gruden was canceled by the woke. Isaac says 15-year membership celebration. What say you about Burrow and Chase this year? Love the stack.
The stack above all stacks.
It's still on the right side of the screen.
The pancake emojis in the live chat.
As you can see on the right, and then we got the quad squad stack over on the left. These are both pancake stacks. Look, I mean, you can get Chase at mid first round and Joe Burrow 6-7 round range. That's probably the most attractive stack you can find in fantasy. Hit that thumb up button on your way out the door. Appreciate you. I'm live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern every single Monday through Friday. And we'll be back tonight for sure. And Ron Navy, how did I miss this? Ron, you still here? Ron gifted 20 memberships. I didn't even see that. Ron gifted 20 memberships earlier, and I didn't even see it because my stupid system won't alert me of those things. Ron Navy dropping 20 memberships. Is Ron still listening, watching? Yeah, he's there. Ron says also gifted memberships. Ron to the moon. Ron, damn it, Ron. Damn it, Ron. It's such a clean office. It's such a clean studio. 20 gifted memberships, I think, opens the briefcase.
$50. Give me $50 holler. Let them buy the brother Smitty. Give me $50. Oh, yeah.
You know he does it on purpose. I'll just get little Smitty in here to clean it up. Come earn your Gibboard. Come earn your Gibboard, little one. Pick up all this money. See you guys tonight. I'll be back. Hey, Ma, come in here, clean up this office, and give me that meatloaf.